Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
As the drought continues to bite across Tasmania, many farmers are struggling to feed their stock. Tas farmers will appoint a full-time drought coordinator in the next couple of weeks, but are urging farmers to seek help now if they're struggling to cope.
Farmers are doing it tough. Fifth-generation Pipers Brook farmer Jacqueline Shipton hasn't seen it this dry in a long time. Forced to drastically reduce her stock numbers at Christmas, Jacqueline is now feeding her remaining cattle.
Everyone's a little more stressed than what we would be normally. We're working a little bit harder than what we would be normally. We're feeding out earlier. That's got us counting hay bales and doing calculations in our head of a night instead of sleeping.
The 140-acre family farm has been in drought since last year. Only 40 millimetres of rain has fallen since October. Jacqueline's now looking at having to bring in feed from off-farm for her remaining cows and calves. She's aware other farmers will also be suffering.
I think at this point in time, a lot of farmers are feeling like they can't make a good decision. There are no good options.
Farmers across the state, particularly on Flinders and King Island, are facing multiple challenges as the drought drags on, many of them feeling immense stress.
There's not a lot of fodder, hay, silage, etc. to feed animals. To buy in grain is very expensive. It's very difficult to offload livestock at the moment because the prices are very low.
With the dry conditions confronting farmers across Tasmania continuing to linger, the state government last week intervened to declare that emergency drought relief would be extended statewide. Tasmanian Irrigation has agreed to extend its 12 irrigation schemes by a month.
This isn't to water potato crops, etc. This is so farmers can water so they can feed their livestock.
Tas farmers will appoint a drought coordinator to assist farmers in the next 2 weeks, but Jacqueline Shipton says those in strife now should reach out. Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
A Japanese judo instructor who taught self-defence at Tasmania's Police Academy 5 decades ago has returned to the state. The trainer reuniting with some of his former students and reminiscing on an Easter camp he used to run.
Burning off the Easter chocolate. Local and interstate athletes commemorating the 50th anniversary of an Easter judo camp initiated by Japanese trainer Taka Nakajima, who flew in for the occasion.
The Easter camp looked like my life in Tasmania, and I'll never forget.
There were about a dozen of us, and we all slept on the mat and we trained 4 times a day.
And though it's no longer running, Taka's respected reputation has stood the test of time.
Since his arrival, we've now had almost 50 national champions. We've had medalists in international events, including the Commonwealth Games.
Taka also heading up the Police Academy's self-defence program in the 1970s and 80s.
We had to grapple and within about 30 seconds, I got thrown over shoulder and landed flat on my back, but it didn't hurt, it was gentle.
A valuable lesson instilled in cadets to this day.
Taka was demonstrating that you could subdue people and calm people down by being gentle in the process.
Taka himself is a very respectful man and a friendly person, and that you felt that through the teaching.
The inspectors receiving a samurai helmet as a token of friendship between Tasmania and Japan. A backup gift after Taka's samurai sword failed to make it out of the airport.
Custom. Trouble.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The director of Bonnarong Wildlife Sanctuary has embarked on the final 26-kilometre leg of his wild ride, raising money for the service. Greg Irons aimed to ride 200 kilometres on his red tricycle, the Hog. He has raised over $11,000 so far, smashing his intended goal of $2,500. Now to a story we weren't able to bring you yesterday due to the football. Dozens of golfers have spent the first day of the long weekend on the Claremont Green. Teams hoping for a hole-in-one, as well as thousands of dollars to assist their fundraising efforts for Tasmanians living with muscular dystrophy.
A very good Friday for these golfers.
At the moment it's a bit of fun, but it's pretty close, so it might get competitive a bit later.
Muscular Dystrophy Tasmania hosting its annual golf classic. The group aiming to raise between $30,000 to $40,000 for local families impacted by the disorder.
There's 5 par 3s on the course today, and if any amateur player gets a hole-in-one on any of those holes today, they'll win a car.
Teams of 4 taking to the Claremont course for the Ambrose event. A range of holes putting these competitors to the test.
We've had a little bit of luck. It's always just an enjoyable day being out here anyway.
With more motivating them than just a win.
Some different drink and food holes, a tequila and taco hole for example's sake, so as they come through they can have a nice little tequila shot and enjoy a little taco to nibble on the way through.
And that's what they did.
Good.
The group hoping to continue providing assistance to Tasmanians with neuromuscular diseases.
It has a huge impact on them, mentally, financially, physically, so any help that can be provided in these sorts of ways is certainly huge.
Before they do it all again next year. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Hundreds of athletes from across Australia are meeting at the Hobart Athletic Centre, at the Domain Athletic Centre I should say, for the 50th edition of the Masters Track and Field Championships. Participants taking part in a variety of events including cross-country, javelin, long jump and shot put. The event concludes on Monday. Launceston mountain bike rider Sam Fox has had a victory in the XCC short track race in Brazil. Fox held the lead going into the last leg of the race despite a challenge by Brazilian Ulan Galinski. He then claimed victory with an uphill sprint to the finish line.
Good evening, and I hope you're enjoying your Easter long weekend. Hobart 18 degrees today, the state's top recorded in Launceston with 25, Devonport 22 and Burnie 24. Temperatures slightly above average this Easter Saturday with minimal rainfall recorded in the 31 hours to 4 p.m, with conditions remaining dry across the state. Further out, Wynyard-friendly beaches and ooze not far behind the state's top with 24, St Helens, Flinders Island and Low Head both 22. Grove and King Island 21, Maria Island 20, Lyowini and Strawn both 18. Today, patchy low-level cloud is seen covering the west and south. The rest of the state remained mostly cloud-free. A large area of mid-level cloud hovers over Queensland, the Territory, SA and inland New South Wales, containing embedded thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a high will move over the Tasman Sea, ridging over the state, extending along the eastern seaboard. To coastal waters now, west to southwesterly winds 5 to 15 knots, turning variable in the north and east, becoming northerly in the afternoon. Southwesterly swells building up to 2.5 metres in the west and south. Looking now at the forecast for your Easter Sunday, despite copious amounts of chockies, we can expect cloudy conditions towards the south. Hobart 21, Richmond 22, 24 the maximum for ooze. Partly cloudy also in the north, Launceston 25, Devonport 22, 23 for Deloraine. Little to no rain expected in the west, Burnie partly cloudy 20, cloudy also for Strawn 19, Curry on King Island 20 degrees. A shower or two on the way for St Helens 21, much the same in Swansea 20, with the remaining sunny in White Market 22 is the top. Now the forecast for April Fool's Day, fine until showers develop about the Bass Strait Islands in the afternoon and about the far north in the evening. Possible thunderstorms are likely about King Island also. Tuesday, showers about the north extending statewide with those possible isolated thunderstorms. They'll move to the north and the east. Wednesday, light showers about the west and far south with temperatures about the mid to high teens. Two mainland capital cities now, fine and sunny conditions for Perth and Canberra tomorrow 29. Sunny also in Sydney 27, Brisbane a shower or two 26. Morning fog expected in Melbourne 25 is the top. As we take a look at current conditions, it's mostly cloudy in Hobart right now with 16, sunny in Launceston with 21 and also sunny in Devonport. Kids across the state will need an early night in anticipation for the Easter Bunny's arrival overnight, and I hope he too finds you well, Michael.
Well, that is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow night. Have a lovely evening. Good night.